Hello, my name is Anand. In this AWS Solutions Architect Associate, especially in this canvas, I wish to demonstrate this module 9, implementing elasticity, high availability and monitoring. That is the guided lab. So this guided lab will demonstrate about this creating a highly available environment. See this one? This is the lab. Lab is still under progression. So meanwhile, I'll just discuss about what is expected to do. Yeah. So this is creating a highly availability environment. So after completing this lab, you should be able to inspect a provided VPC. Okay, we have a VPC, just inspection only. Create an application load balancer, create an auto scaling group, test the application for high availability. These are the four activities which we need to provide. So at the end of our architecture, it should look like this. So here we have a VPC, we have public subnet. So you have two public subnets, subnet, public subnet with 0 and 1.0/24. You have two private subnets also. You see this one, 2.0/23, 4.0/23, which has already been created. So we need to create an application server, using an auto scaling, and also an RDS which is there, multi-agents which are there in the database, multi-agent which is already done. We will be connecting in the private subnet, this database in the private subnet, your application server in the public subnet. Okay, so and we need to also configure our auto scaling along with the load balancer. So these are the things which are given. So once the lab is ready, we can just start this AWS. So the first part will be inspecting your VPC. So as already I mentioned, based on the lab, so this is what which has been already given to us. But once the lab is ready, I'll once again revisit. Just let us wait. So the lab is getting ready. Meanwhile, we'll inspect the VPC. Okay. So yes, I am into the AWS console. Here I'll first explore the VPC. I'll go to the VPC dashboard. So here what we need to understand is that the lab VPC, select the lab VPC, you will be seeing this VPC CADR is 10.00/16. So your VPCs, there are two VPCs. One is your lab VPC, which is having a CADR of 10.00/16. And next, let us go to the subnets. We have four subnets which are created. So you see this public subnet 1 and public subnet 2. Public subnet is in 10.00/24. Public subnet 2 is in 10.010/24. Your private subnet is 10.020/23, and you have a private subnet 2 10.040/23. So I have inspected. There is one internet gateway also which is attached to your VPC. This is lab IG, which is attached to your lab VPC. Yes, and there is also a route table which is created for you. Public route table, private route table also. You see this in public route table, you need to see the routes which is already created, which is connected to your internet gateway, and also you can verify that subnet associations is already done to your public subnets which has been associated. Let me explore this route table for the private one. So private one, you see the routes which is connected via NAT gateway. So you have a NAT gateway also. If you see this one, a NAT, where is this NAT? NAT gateway. There is also one NAT gateway which is created with an elastic IP of 44.199.143.59. Yeah, this is your NAT gateway, and this is associated to your private route table. And you see this is the one. Not this. Routes. Go to your routes. Yeah, this is the one which has been associated. So all this we have gone through, especially the subnets, okay, the public subnet, the route table, the ACLs. Let us also choose this ACLs. Choose the network ACL. ACL is nothing but a kind of firewall to the VPC. Okay, just to go to the network ACLs. See this. There is one, lab VPC ACL which has been created with four subnets. Yes, you have this inbound rules and outbound rules. In your inbound rules, you see this one, all your traffic is allowed, internet bound traffic is allowed. You can see this is rule number 100. Yeah, the rules can be restricted with you can also have deny rules also. So security groups, we selected that. Let us go through the security groups also. There are some security groups which has been by default given to this lab. Yeah, this is security groups. We are just exploring. Yeah, you have inventory DB and inventory app also. So select this inventory DB and see the rules. So the inbound rules, you have this 3306 port, that is Aurora port, MySQL port open for the source of 10.0.0 entire internal VPC. Using the private subnet which can be accessed. Outbound, maybe for all the things, all traffic is enabled by default. So this is about inventory DB. So with this task 1, the inspection part is over. So now let us create an application load balancer. See, the lab is almost created. So till the lab is not created, don't try to create any resources in AWS. So since it is created, we will create. We were only inspecting in task 1. So in task 2, in this task 2, creating an application load balancer, we will focus on how to create this application load balancer. So for this, yes, we can go to EC2. I just duplicate this session. So this I go to EC2. So as part of this EC2, yes, we will create the load balancer first. Create the load balancer and create the name of the load balancer is inventory LB. So I am into EC2. I have one running instance here. You can verify, that is web server 1. Okay, so if you go deep down into the navigation pane, you can see this load balancer. So I click here, I create a load balancer. So I select this application load balancer and say the name of the load balancer is inventory LB. This is internet facing IPv4. Select the VPC as lab VPC. Okay, and under this you can see the mappings public subnet 1 and public subnet 2. I need to select as public subnet 1. Yeah, and this is public subnet 2. Perfect. Yeah, and the security groups, we need to create a new security group. Okay, and if I say here create a new security group, so I create this new security group. It opens a new window. So what I can do, the new security group name is inventory LB. Just verify whether the security groups are there or not. The new security group name is inventory LB. Okay, the description is enable to web server access to load balancer. I just copy paste this one and select the VPC, not this one, lab VPC we need to select. Okay, lab VPC we have selected. In inbound rules, select HTTP anywhere from IPv4. Select add rule HTTP, select HTTP custom anywhere. Okay, add rule HTTPS anywhere. Okay, in outbound rules leave as it is, nothing is required. So once this is done, choose create a security group. I create the security group. Yeah, the security group is created. Now return back to your load balancer, just try to refresh. You see this inventory LB security group is there. Select that, delete the default one, we don't require that, inventory LB. Yeah, assign the security group inventory LB. Perfect, which has HTTP and HTTPS. Okay, so scroll down, security groups. For security group, inventory LB security group. Next, below the security group, into we have deleted. Listeners, we need to create a target group. Yes. So here this part is over. You can just go to EC2 and verify your instances, leave it like that. Now the next, this is a very important one. You see the listeners, configuring your listener and routing. So create a target group. You need to select this, create a target group. Scroll down. So choose a target group, that is instances. Target group name is inventory app. The name which we want to give exactly, this is inventory app. So instances, you see the name is inventory app. HTTP lab VPC, yes, absolutely. And in advanced health settings, just see that the threshold is 10 and interval is threshold is 2 and interval is 10. Scroll down, health checks. Yes, where is this advanced? Sorry, in this advanced health check settings, you see the threshold. See this one, healthy threshold is 2 and interval is 10. Healthy threshold, just change it to 2 and interval is reduced. The lesser the interval, the faster the access. Okay, and success code is 200. So I think we are almost done for creation of the target group. Yeah, we have created this target group. The second part is also there, that is available instances. See this one, register target screen appears, don't select anything, we are going to select all the instances from the load balancer. So just review the targets, and create the target group. So once the target group is created, you go back to the previous menu. Let us see, yes, this is created, healthy. Go back to the previous menu, try to refresh. Okay, you should see inventory app target group here. Yeah, refresh, inventory app target group. Create the load balancer. So scroll down, optional, this is all summary which is there displayed. Perfect. Create the load balancer. Absolutely. So now you can see the load balancer request has been taken and it is successfully, should be created very soon, See this one in the load balancer. As of now, this is provisioning. You can see this is provisioning. In a minute's time, you should be able to get through available. In a minute's time, it will take some time. So this completes task number 2. So now, once this is done, let us start creating. Leave this one, this load balancer. So once this is done, you should be getting this status as available. Okay, still it is provisioning. Right. So now let us go to the auto scaling. So in auto scaling, let us start create an AMI for auto scaling. So select this EC2. Yeah, I'm closing this one. This is EC2 only. See, this is load balancer. It should be done by this time. You're still under provisioning only. Okay. So under services EC2, select the instances. That is, you should see this health check is passed already, web server 1, and now select that web server, create this image, create this AMI image, web server AMI. How do you do that? Yeah, this is 2x2 health check passed, this one. Under actions, select this image and templates and say create image. So the image name is web server AMI, and image description you can give it as lab AMI for web server. Okay, so you see this one, this is the one. That's all, I think. Once this is done, you can say create image. Your AMI should be create image. Your AMI should be created very soon. It will take 3 to 4 minutes. So now, as of now, you see this is you can verify the images whether it is getting created or not in AMIs. Yeah, see this one, this is pending. You can see this one, the status is pending. Right. So this should complete the first part of this particular one. Now create launch configuration and an auto scaling group. This one. Let us learn about this, how to create this auto scaling group. So I open this one, another one here in EC2. Go back to EC2. Leave this one. This is load balancer getting created. You see, it is still in provisioning. Let me check whether it has created. Yes, it is active. Perfect. Similarly, here we have left for pending of our AMI image. So let it go through. Let us go through. We have already completed load balancer, AMI. Now we are going to do this, what we call as auto scaling. So this is auto scaling. Point number 43. Create a launch configuration, and yeah, in auto scaling, you see this one. There is a launch configuration in auto scaling. Create launch configuration. Provide the name as inventory LC. Inventory LC, and the image which you need to select is web server AMI. You see this one in AMI. Select this web server AMI. This is private AMI which you have just created. Just see that it is getting created. This is pending. You see, in after a minute's time, you should see this is available. Before we launch the server, you should get the status as available. Till that time, it's okay. What is the instance type we have to choose? You can see here. The instance type you have to choose is T3 micro. Choose instance type. Okay. If it is difficult for you to choose, you can say T3 dot micro. Yeah, you can select and say choose. Okay. So the other things, like what else we need to provide? You see this one, T2 micro we have chosen. Yeah, T3 micro or T2 micro, whatever it is. So the IAM role profile is inventory app role. So just select that IAM instance profile, inventory app role. Absolutely. Yeah. Okay. And enable EC2 instance detailed monitoring with CloudWatch metrics. Let us enable this particular one. Scroll down. Okay. And then this allows auto scaling to quickly change your utilization. There is a script here. This is post installation script. I'll explain about this script also. Yeah. What you do? You have to, in EBS volume, leave as it is. In security group, you can create a security group. Select an existing, that is inventory app security group you need to select. Inventory app security group. Yes, I have selected this inventory app security group. Scroll down, key pair, you can select, proceed without key pair. Yeah, choose an existing one. Yeah, you can choose this walk key. Yeah, walk key. Scroll down and say I acknowledge. This is already there. So this is done. Inventory LC, web server AMI, T3 micro, and all these things. In advanced details under user data, I am not seeing that. Okay, just create this launch configuration. That's fine. So successfully created this launch configuration, and you can verify also there is one launch configuration, inventory LC has been created. Now scroll down, this part is missing, I could not, but something like if it is an ordinary AMI web server which is there, probably that should also be configured by this time. 45th step. Okay, create this launch configuration with this configuration. Now let us do the next part. Go to your what we call as EC2. Yes, scroll down, auto scaling groups. So this is the next part which we need to scaling group name. Provide this inventory ASG. See this, create an auto scaling group, provide a name. Okay, so here ASG, and the launch template, you have just now created this template. You can use the template or switch to launch configuration. You can use this inventory LC which you have created. All the parameters are specified. Group name. Okay, the network page, next page, load balancing. You have to see, select your VPC, lab VPC, and availability zones and subnets. Private subnet 1 and private subnet 2, auto scaling. So select this private subnet 1 and private subnet 2. Yes, please. This should be highlighted. There are 7 steps here. Just say next. You have to attach your existing load balancer. Okay. Yeah. This is my inventory app, that is the load balancer which I have created. Like, let me check now for this particular health checks. Select ELB and health check grace period is 90. Yeah, reduce, the lesser the value, the faster the the health check does. So in additional, let me check if there is anything else. Enable group metrics collection within CloudWatch. Yeah, enable that. We did that. Okay, say next. So this will ask this desired capacity to 2. Okay, minimum capacity to, maximum capacity to 4. This is the policy. So scaling, maximum capacity is also 2. Okay, leave it to 2. Don't make it maximum. Target tracking policy, yes, we are going to use the target tracking policy. You will maintain 2 instances at the time of high availability in this application, so and so. Okay, we are not using any policy now. Say none, and say next. And this is notifications. We are not adding any notifications as of now. Tagging, that is name and inventory app. So I say next. Now we are in the tagging. Add tag, this is the name and the value is inventory app. Say next. So you are in the review stage, that is the last part which is there. Once this is all done, see here 2 only we have given. So create auto scaling group, this is the last one which is there, create auto scaling. So once this is done, you can see also meanwhile you check this one, this should be available. Yeah, it is available. There, hence you can. So you should see the desired capacity is 2, minimum capacity is 2, and also maximum capacity is 3. Maximum capacity is 2. So your instances very soon should change to 2. I just scroll down. It should come back to 2 because the desired capacity will trigger the instances very soon. Yeah, it is updating the capacity. Meanwhile, what you can do, this AMI is already done. So I go back to the instances. You will see very soon 2 instances will be triggered from auto scaling. So till now it is not yet. Once it is updated, it will take a minute's time to get updated, then you should see the instance dashboard as saying as 2. Yeah, you can see the instances has come to 2, and you can also see, refresh this one, 2 instances already provisioned in inventory app public. You can see this one, 2 of these. Meanwhile, what you can do, this load balancer which you created, click this load balancer, you get this DNS name. This is also called as an endpoint. Open this endpoint. This is the load balancer. So the load balancer endpoint, you should get your website provisioned. with using these two web servers. It will come very soon once the instances are ready. Once the instances are still under initialization, so it will take a couple of minutes time. Yes, see this, scroll down. So updating the we need to update the security group. So application security group, inventory app. So inbound rules, we need to open this HTTP port. So how do you do that? In auto scaling group, this leave it. Yeah, in the security groups, inventory app. EC2 dashboard, security groups. You should see the inventory app. This is the one. Allow port number 80 also. There is no rules here. There is no rule. So what we need to do, just allow HTTP. Source is anywhere and all. Save rules. See this one, inventory app, inbound rules, HTTP as well as HTTPS also. You see this one, HTTP and HTTPS. Okay, you can give a security from the load balancer, or you can give 0000. So see this one, still more. Edit inbound rules. I modify this one, custom. I'll say SG. You should check this particular one. This one SG, from it appears inventory LB. Yeah, this one, inventory LB. And also add another rule, which is HTTPS. Here also SG inventory LB. Okay, and say save rules. And say save rules. Yeah. Okay, save rules. And also one more, this database security group. So let me check. Yeah, the inventory system started working, but it has to connect to the database. So for that we need to go to inventory DB security group. Okay, let me also add to this inventory DB security group. Okay, check the inbound rules. There is only MySQL traffic which is being given. You can say edit inbound rules. Let me see what all he needs to add rule. MySQL Aurora from the list appears. Inventory app should also get added. So add rule, that is MySQL Aurora, not MS SQL, that is MySQL Aurora. Delete the existing rule, we will delete that. MySQL Aurora, custom and SG inventory app. I will say SG and inventory app, this one. Okay, delete this one. Just to save rules. It is done. It is done. Testing the application. Your application is now ready for testing. Okay, we already selected this inventory app targets. So will be there inventory app in the lower half, targets, status, the register targets, etc. The load balancers, we have figured out everything. The DNS name, open the browser, enter instance ID, we figured out. Yes, reload the page in the browser, we will notice that the instance ID and the availability zone sometimes change between two instances. Okay, see this one, this is from the load balancer. What he means to say, if you try to refresh, yeah, you can see this instance ID is changing from time to time. So there are two instances, 22 A5. You watch this one. If I try to refresh, 1A, 1B. So this is how your load balancer works. when this website displays the flow of the information is, it is going, it is touching, basically it is trying to touch both the web servers which have been installed. That is how the load balancer is functioning. You see this, where is that? Instances, there are two instances, so you can check both the instances. Yeah, this one A5 and 22, you see this one, both are getting touched. Yeah, I think testing for high availability. So instances, yeah, we will also terminate one of the instance which is not required for us. So which instance we want to terminate? Inventory app. So he asks one of the instance he wants to terminate. You will now terminate one of the web instances to simulate. Select one of them which you will select. Terminate. Right, we are learning how to terminate. Return to EC2 console. So I am selecting one of the instance, and I will say instance status. I will terminate, because our lab is now successful. Still our load balancer will work. So optional task, making the database high availability. Yes, we did that. So in your services, select RDS database. Okay. So this part is done. I will select this RDS, that is in database, where RDS is there. So you have one DB instances also, you can verify that. Inventory DB, see that inventory, choose modify. Okay, database, choose modify, select this one and say modify. We are trying to learn about how to modify. Scroll down to the availability and durability for multi-agent to create a standby instance. Scroll down. See, these are the settings. Storage, multi-agent 2, do not create a standby instance. So select create a standby instance. So what you need to do, analysis, you need to configure this one setting, create a standby instance. Do not create a standby instance. So create a standby instance. We are going to modify this. Okay, create a standby instance. Okay, so DB class is T3 small. Yeah, T3 micro. You can select T3 small. I am making some changes. This action doubles the size of the instance. T3 small is 2 CPU with 2 GB RAM. Okay. For allocated storage, enter 10. So storage is 5, right? So we will make it as 10. Okay. At the bottom of the page, say continue and modify DB. Rest all things you can leave it as it is. We have created. We are creating a standby. Yes. Rest all things are same. So continue and then modify DB instance. So this DB instance very soon shall get modified. So you can say continue. At the bottom of the page, say continue. Will modify these changes and apply immediately. Yeah, it is already done. Modify DB instance. Optional task 2, configuring your high availability NAT gateway. This task is optional. You can work on the task if you are having a remaining lap time. That's okay. I think this is again optional, which we are learning, and there is no score for this one. So how to create? We already did this in lab VPC, so hence this is okay. So once done, what you can do is that you can submit. You can submit once done. So hence we have completed almost all the objectives which are required. We have inspected, we have created a load balancer, auto scaling group, and also we have tested the application for high availability. It is functioning. So I will just say submit. We have done even the optional exercise of modifying the DB. Okay. So once the submission is over, you should also see the grade. Yeah, you got 55 out of 75 because we have not done this optional task. Yeah, last part is inventory app store and inventory DB store rule is successfully modified. Launch configuration system. This is okay. This is okay. Sometimes it gets the last part 4B and 4C task is not yet properly done. But we have modified properly only. It has not taken. Anyway, that's all. Thank you everyone, and we'll meet with another lab. Okay, bye.